Hey guys, John Loxley here. I just want to talk to you real fast about playing old games before it becomes impossible for them to play. Um, Here is a website. This is the scumvm.org compatibility chart. ScumVM is the Scum engine is the I don't. It's an acronym. I don't remember what it stands for. It's about Maniac Mansion. More recently, the Day of the Tentacle remaster, stuff like that. But what I want to talk about is old games. The older they get, and I'm not talking about Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, stuff like that. Older, easily emulatable games. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about like PC games, PS2 games, PS3, original Xbox games that don't quite that aren't quite emulatable or are a little bit more difficult to emulate. Those are going away, right? Every Windows upgrade, every software upgrade breaks things, causes bugs, all that. And if you actually look on this chart, most of them are listed in either excellent or good. You have to give these dudes tons of credit because GOG will use a lot of this, the ScumVM engine, to ensure that the games that they put out are compatible with your current systems and run well. But if you go down, you can see like all the old Sierra games like Police Quest, King's Quest, Space Quest, some Ultima games. All of these, they're not perfect. They don't run exactly how they used to run back in the day. And I think that's a problem because when I play a game, I at least want the as close to the actual experience as I can get. Escape from Monkey Island, the original, still bugged. It's not good, it's not excellent. These dudes have done a hell of a job though, because when I checked this out maybe a year ago, this list it was full of like, oranges and reds. So they're putting their time in, and this is all free, by the way. These dudes are not getting paid. The games are not free, although some are abandonware, but you could buy most of them on GOG. But these dudes that are trying to fix these games and for historical or archival purposes, whatever, these dudes are doing a hell of a job. They're really putting their time in, and I appreciate that. Even though I probably will never play most of these games. You have stuff like Riven, Myst 3, Exile, the Journeyman Project games, all these old games. But what I do want to talk about mostly is Eternal Daughter. We're switching over. This is a different website. This is the hardcoregaming101.net. But this is Eternal Daughter. This is a game I did play for the channel way back when, like a year or two ago. Eternal Daughter is probably a game that most of you have not heard of. This is a game done by a guy with a decent pedigree. I assume most people have probably heard of, games like Spelunky or Aquaria. Both those were developed by the same guy that did this. This was essentially a solo project. The main dude, Derek Yu? And then the guy that did the music. And I gotta say, Eternal Daughter is really good. It is hard as balls. It is a little bit older and clunkier, but the story is fantastic. The gameplay, it's a Metroidvania style. But I would honestly recommend it. It definitely does not get the love it deserves. The problem is, it's free, right? This was the dude's solo project. He worked on it over like 5 years on his own, not as part of like a studio or anything. This was just him trying to get better at game design and stuff. And so he released it for free. You can kind of see the title screen down there with like the controller or keyboard. I was never able to get controller support with mine. Had to do it with the old style keyboard layout, which was a pain. But talking about old games, this game runs only on something called Macromedia Fusion, which was the competitor to Flash back in the day. And, Flash is basically on its way out. So this is a really old game. It was released, I think, in 2002. Oh, yeah, it says it right there. And on a, release for a dead software, basically. And this is the problem because how do you emulate that? There are modern day patches, but even so, every time, Windows updates or even the new version of Windows comes out, can you play this on Linux? Does it say? I mean, I don't know. At this point, it might even be better to do like an emulate, like to run a, virtual Windows environment or something like that, just so you could play these old games. But even that's not perfect, And so this is my urge to you guys now, which is maybe necessarily don't play the newest, shiniest AAA release, because the clock on games like this, which are fantastic, the clock is ticking away, and that new $60-$70 game that you could probably wait a year or two and wait till it drops to 30 anyway. I mean, that's not going anywhere anytime soon. But these are every upgrade, every time, Windows 11 comes out or whenever Windows 12 comes out or whatever, it's like more and more stuff breaks. Games that used to be available on Android, maybe small indie developers that used to support them, they're just like, hey, I can't keep up with these anymore. Spiderweb Software is a great example. He used to do a bunch of his games on Android or Apple OS systems, and he's just like, I can't. Every time they update, it breaks something, and I have to do all new testing and stuff. And so, before these games become lost, this is my urge, my plea, if you will, is just go play them. I try to do my best to recommend things that I come across, and I'm always interested in finding new to me, not necessarily new games, but new to me that are unique, that have something different and interesting and something that I haven't seen before. There's this one. There is Septerra Core has a really fascinating magic and combat system that was, I thought, really interesting to play, although not, kind of a slog at times, but overall really neat. System Shock did some stuff, the original, that I've never seen any other game do in my however many years of playing. And games like these are just, they're not the newest and shiniest thing. And so people just kind of ignore them and they get forgotten about. And then eventually, like this one, they're going to be completely unplayable, or at least more and more difficult, especially as hardware fails and you need older stuff. So that's just my, that's it. That's just my thought. Go play old games. Go find these old beloved games and just play them. You can set aside. I'm not saying don't play new games, but I'm saying, push them back a little bit. Save yourself a little bit of money also. And just this one's free. Eternal Daughter, free. All these old games, the Scum VM games, most of these are on GOG or Abandonware, in which case they're either free or super cheap. If you don't want to pay $10 on GOG for them, you can always wait for a sale for them to go down to like $2-3, sometimes $150. But that's, yeah, and just have fun. Anyway, guys, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. Really do appreciate it. Really hope you guys are enjoying all of my videos. If you did like this video, I hate asking for subscribe and likes and all that stuff, but do all that if you wish. Check out some of my other stuff. I try and play interesting things. And even if you don't, you can at least scroll through the list of things that I have done and see if anything looks interesting to you. Even if you don't watch anything that I do, at least maybe get some interesting ideas on what to play for yourself in the future. I had one person leave a comment basically saying that, oh, hey, I didn't know Shadowgate had a remake. I need to check that out. And it's like, that's awesome. Like, I'll never be popular, but if I can help one person find something cool, then I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? So that's, like I said, that's it for today. Anyway, I hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.